Okay. Take two. I gotta get myself together. I don't want to be on here crying and going crazy and all that stuff. I'm so sorry. I'm definitely emotional about it when it comes to the situation, because just thinking about all the stuff, you know, I'm so thankful. If you guys look at my video, y'all always hear me talk about how thankful I am, because I know for sure I'm supposed to be dead and gone somewhere, either through having an STD or a disease or something, or through somebody killing me, or some, like, because I done had too many incidents of life and death, especially me driving and all the work and seeing. I done had too many incidents where I know for sure God has spared my life. So y'all forgive me on that. That made me stuffy, but y'all forgive me, because I get emotional just thinking about it, because I've been in that position where you don't feel worthy, where you don't love yourself, where you don't know who you are, you don't have no identity, you don't know which way to go, you just feel so low to where you just want to give up and do nothing. You just want to give up and take yourself out. You just want to give up and just, you feel like nobody's here to help. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares. So many different emotions. Like, why is my life like this? Why? It is crazy, because that's how I was feeling, because I was living in the hood and I was poor and I didn't have nothing. Why I gotta live like this? Why I gotta be in a regular house? Why? You know, those was the questions I have. But now I see people who are famous killing themselves, who got money, who living in a great house. And it's just like, now that I think, okay, it's way deeper than that. It's not about the money, because people with money still kill themselves. But, you know I'm not right on everything, but just based off of, where I'm at now, and just the journey that I'm on, and me trying to self-discover and find my worth and happiness and love for myself, and being in that position where I felt that low to where I did want to take myself out, I sit back and pay attention, and I'm sitting back and watching, and I'm sitting back and noticing, trying to see, how does it start? Where does it start from? Where does that idea come from, and why? And a lot of times it's generational curses that, that's still there. It passed generation on down. The generations that pass on down, because we have a lot of people who want to keep secrets, a lot of people who don't share, who don't talk. Another thing, people don't know their identity. When you have parents who having kids, they don't know they were, like my mom, she was back in the times where they was picking, she was at that end, and that end of it where they was picking cotton and in the fields and working and picking stuff and doing. She was in that. She's 60 something now. So she was in that time. She was in that time where she had to work and wasn't making no money. She had to work. So she was in that time where she worked for people who didn't show their appreciation. She did stuff for people who dogged her out. Listening to my mom's story, she got raped. She got touched on. She got misused and abused. And me just knowing now what I know, like, I don't fault her for that. I had to pick myself up and realize I can't live my life based on what happened to me. I gotta be better. I gotta learn, and I gotta do better, and I gotta get knowledge on what not to do. Since I seen my parents and how they are, it's an example of me knowing that I don't want to be that type of parent. And it also gives me awareness to know that if a person is not able to be 60 or that old and they still struggling, they got a lot of issues that they have to deal with themselves. So I can't, me being mad at them and still blaming them ain't helping nothing. It's just making them feel even worse as a person. So I had to get out of there. I didn't want to be that person who, mad at my dad forever. He's still alive. He don't call me every day. We ain't like hanging up. He ain't helping me, none of that stuff. But when he call, I love on him. When he texts, I love you. I don't have nothing with it. Because life is too short, and I'm not finna be that petty to where I'm holding something against somebody. especially since I know their story. I don't know my dad's story at all like that, but I know for him to be as old as he is and to have what is 2 sets of twins, me, my brother, so that's 4, 5, 6, to have 7 kids and not take care of them and not be there for them, I know he's struggling with something. So, you know, that's understood. And to have the life that he have and still at the position that he is, I know he's dealing with a lot of darkness. You know, I know he's dealing with a lot of underlying issues that he hadn't worked out. But anyway, I think when it comes to that, if you sense that in any of your children feeling depressed, sad, down, and don't have a... First of all, pay attention to your children. Listen to your children. That's what I'm doing now, because my kids talk about suicide. They done tried to cut themselves and all that stuff, and I had to start opening my eyes and paying attention. Because to what they say and what they didn't say, to how they moving and all that stuff. Because it's serious. I don't want that. As a parent, I want to know for sure that I'm doing everything I can at my absolute best, doing my responsibility after I had this child. The Lord had gave me straight instructions. It's to train up a child the way they should go, so when they get older, they won't depart from it. So my job is to train them up the way they should go. Whether they like it or not, I always tell them, take it up with Jesus. Take it up with God. Take it up with the Holy Spirit. Whichever one you decide to take it up with. But hey, it's not my rules. I didn't write it. This is the book that I follow. This is the life that I'm living. This is my leader. This is my father. This is the person who I obey. So hey, you got to take it up with him. That's what I tell my kids, because they don't like a lot of stuff that I say. But my kids talk about it too. I think all kids go through, especially with the times that we in now. I know it's a lot of kids suffering because it's so fast. The internet got so much stuff on it. People bullying like crazy, talking about people on the internet. And people so sensitive these days and soft, they don't even know how to handle nobody saying anything to them. Even me being honest and real and raw, just with a snippet of my life, people gonna have something to say. People gonna always have something to say. I was telling my kids that this morning. Like, people gonna always have something to say. If you gotta comment to everything negative that people say, boy, you gonna be wasting a lot of your breath on unnecessary stuff. For real. For real. But I was telling my kids, like, it's not worth it. Like, learn how to ignore everything. People being so mean and harsh on this social media, you have to learn how to, you have to have tough skin. You have to learn how to ignore. You have to learn, matter of fact, not any of that. First of all, learn to love yourself. Learn to love yourself. When you learn how to love yourself, which I am still in that process, because like I said, y'all, I'm just realizing a lot of this stuff. I done messed up so much that I messed up to the people who did show me love. I was running them off. And now I'm at this age, like, dang, I don't want to lose, nobody else. I don't want, my kids talking about killing themselves. I don't want nobody, So it was an eye-opener for me. It was an eye-opener for me. But the number one thing that I can say to anybody, because I've been in that situation where I've been that low to the ground in the dirt, eating dirt. The first thing you need to do is look at you. The first thing you need to do, you're going to have to start loving yourself. You're going to have to start working on you. To anybody who is thinking about killing themselves, who thinking about they so low and depressed where they can't move, you worrying about people talking about you, hating on you, work issues, relationship issues with your husband, wife, fiance, whoever, co-workers, anything, weight, acne, disease, broken legs or arms, can't see, blind, any issue, any generational curse. You might be lusting in your head. You might be lusting in your private time. You might be on a down low. You might be a lesbian. You might want to change yourself. I don't know what's the issue what you're going through, but if it's making you feel like you want to kill yourself, if you at the point where you're even thinking about it, it's already done. If you at that point, you got to look in the mirror and start working on you. You got to. You got to. You got to. Because it's a life and death situation. You talking about killing yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and start talking to you. Look at yourself in the mirror and start talking to you. Not with that negative tongue, but that same way you want that counselor, that same way you want that preacher, that same way you want that mentor, that same way you want your husband or wife or whoever, your mother, to talk to you and love on you and give you all of that, what you feel like you're missing. You better look at yourself in the mirror and start overloading yourself with love and support and giving to yourself and spending time with yourself and supporting yourself and loving yourself and speaking nice to yourself and giving to yourself and sharing with yourself and speaking life to yourself. Not death, life. Not death, life. You got to. Because it's a life and death matter. I've never been more serious in my life. I might be smiling, but I'm so serious. I've been there. Eating dirt. Feeling like nothing. Feeling like nobody. And I'm telling you, you got to. Look at yourself and start talking to yourself. Speaking love to yourself. Get your butt up and stop making excuses. Killing yourself is not the way. It's not going to change nothing. Everybody's still going to live on. They going to cry that day and tomorrow, maybe a month, years, or whatever. But life's still going to keep going. Nowhere in the Bible where I see it say, kill yourself. Nowhere. And we all know the story, and if you don't know, you better go read it. But the only person we know who followed Jesus, who was with Jesus the whole time, and he decided to kill himself, well, we know why he did it. Because the enemy got in him. The enemy got in him. The enemy got in him. That spirit of death, that spirit that comes to kill, steal, and destroy, got in him. Set him up. And took him right on out. To the point, set him up to where it made him want to take himself out. Satan ain't have to do nothing. His spirit got in him. He did it himself. So I'm talking to anybody who feeling like that. You got that spirit in you. That spirit that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what's in you. Rather you believe in Jesus or not, it's spirits around. It's real. Try it and see. Try to speak life into your life and watch how you change. Try to pray and watch how you change. I'm telling you. It's crazy because it's hard to tell you. Because people talk is cheap. I can talk all day and you will not listen. I can talk all day and you won't listen. But if anybody just take this advice, it's real. It's real. It's real. I'm telling you, from a person who was eating dirt, who was at the bottom. Now, I'm not talking about eating dirt literally. I'm talking about who's been at the bottom so low to where I didn't like myself, to where I didn't love myself, to where I didn't think I was worthy, to where I wanted to kill myself because of the generational curses I was faced with, because of not having parents who understood and who loved themselves. For going through the test and going through the temptation and going through all of those things to where now I got a testimony. But I had to go through those tests first to get a testimony. But it almost took me out. But I had to look at myself and I had to be honest with me. Like, it's not my life to take. I'm here to serve a purpose. And that's it. I was created specifically for a certain purpose. But I wasn't created to kill myself. That wasn't part of the plan. Now, I'm going to die. The words say I'm going to surely die. I am surely going to die. But I don't have to die by killing my own self. There's already people here who trying to kill me. If the spirit is here, that death spirit, that death angel is here on earth. So why would I do him a favor or it a favor and take myself out? Why? It didn't make no sense to me, but as I'm living life every day and I'm thankful for life, it makes life is so worth living to me now. It's not even a thought. I have a lot of bad days. I have days where I can't pay my bills. I have days where I'm crying. I have days where I'm struggling. I have days where I'm going through it in my relationship. My kids going crazy. I want to beat them. I have it. Well, I want to go off on my mama, sister, all of them, dad, everybody. But it's not worth taking my life. It's not worth it. What I do is I go through it. Because I know if I go through it on the other side, it's going to be clear. I just got to go through this part of it. So every day I wake up to expect to have a great day. But if it don't end like that, I still go through that day expecting to have a great day. And it turning out great. Every day I'm speaking life. I love you, Brittany. You are amazing, Brittany. You are a daughter of a king. You are a winner. You are great. Nothing less. You have a beautiful smile. You have a beautiful voice. You are meant for a purpose. You are here for a reason. You are here to help somebody. I speak life into my life. I pray, Lord, I need you. I can't do this by myself, because if I try to do it by myself, I did it wrong so much to where I don't want to do it by myself. I want help. I beg the Lord all the time. I need your help. And I don't even got to beg him, because he say all you got to do is ask. That's what his word is true. He honestly, when I pray, it's stuff I could be going through at work. Supervisor make me mad. I instantly pray. It changes. Stuff changes just like that when I ask and pray. But I got to go. I don't want to make this too long. But it was just hurtful seeing all of that. And it was just like, seemed like just was my sign to speak on it, because I kept seeing, like, he came with that story and I turned on my phone, YouTube, it was there, Google, it was there. And I was like, gosh. And then I heard that on the news. It's like, Lord, oh my gosh. All of this death, murder. You know, but all of it boils down to it, you know, us not knowing us not loving us, ourselves, you know, not getting that love and faith. It starts in the home. It starts in the home. It starts when you're young. That's why it's so important to be the best parent you can be, because it does matter. You know, it does matter. It does matter. But that's the one thing I could tell a person who wants to kill themselves or thinking about killing themselves. You got to be honest with you and sit down and have that conversation with you. Like, what's going on? The death spirit, that angel of death is already out. His job is to come steal, kill, and destroy. Why would you have that job to kill and destroy yourself? You got to think about that. Are you the enemy as well? If you thinking about it, you got him in you. Because that's his job, to kill, steal, and destroy. Why you doing that job too? Why you helping him out? Why? Get down to the root of it. And getting to the root of it is going to take you being by yourself. Talking to yourself. Talking to the Creator who created this great place. You ask him, why am I going through this? Why do I feel like this? Why? So he can answer you. You will get an answer if you ask. It say he reign on the just and the unjust, good and the bad. So he hear you. Just like he delivered people who had demonic spirits in them back in the day. Why you think he can't do the same for you? To have that thought of killing myself is just like, who do I think I am to where he can't change my life? He can change my life just like he changing any other person's life. But I won't try him. I won't call on him. I won't pray. If you thinking about killing yourself, you jumping all the way to killing yourself, but not taking the time to pray, not taking the time to ask him, okay, why am I feeling like this? Can you help me? Your option is going to kill yourself. I'm telling you, I did it before. I thought about it before. I did the act. I was in the process of doing it until it didn't work. And it was a reality check to know this is my life to take. I just was put here for a purpose, to fulfill that purpose. I didn't create my life. I didn't create this. So it's not for me to take. That's selfish of me. Why not me focus on my purpose and focus on me loving myself? Focus on me fulfilling why I was put here. Instead of operating in that spirit that is not of God, that is the evil spirit. So if you feel in that way, you need to pray. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to look at yourself and say, hey, this is not the spirit of love, joy, peace. The spirit that comes to kill and destroy. If I'm thinking about killing myself, and that's what the enemy does, kill, steal, and destroy, and I'm thinking about the same thing, then okay, I don't have the right spirit in me. But anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have a great day and nothing less. We'll talk about it some more.